Here's another one of our partner videos where we've got Dylan and Ellie demonstrating really a simple exercise, but and you'll see there's a couple of versions of this, but this is the simple one. We've got a BOSU on there. If you didn't have a BOSU at home, you could do this definitely on the floor. We've got a rubber tubing here. It's quite a strong one, but you can use any type of rubber tubing really, but this is a good one where the two of you have to be in sync. If one of them gets the timing wrong, it sort of pulls the other one out of balance, and so again, you can have quite a bit of fun, and it just breaks up the sort of monotony of like burpees and lunges and push-ups and all the body weight things, and it brings in some different resistance ideas. So let's have a look how it works. So basically it's just a squat with a single arm. See, there's no resistance, makes it harder on the legs, and the resistance there, and then they say the timing's got to be just right or one of them will fall off. And yeah, and just get that cross body rowing action combined with a squat. Yeah, and you can see they're having a bit of fun with this, and you've got to concentrate. It's not super hard, but as a beginner, it definitely brings in a few challenges. All right, so that's the single arm BOSU cable row. Push up with a a hand tap or partner taps or whatever you want to call it. So basically all you do is you touch hands, do a push up. Come up and then touch hands with the other hand, back down, making sure your push-ups are in good form all the time. You're very much going to be reliant on the ability of the person who fatigues first, so you don't want to sort of just get more push-ups out for the sake of doing more push-ups. It's always better just to do good form. Right, but it's a good fun drill. Again, you don't need any equipment, and it's good to mix in between something else, so you can use one of the tougher exercises, I suppose, and then this one could be a break from a leg exercise. Great way to sort of mix up the training. The towel row, and a great functional exercise that brings into play obviously a pulling action, so great for building strength into that movement as such, and biceps and back muscles and so forth. But a great one for also learning how to use your legs as a stabilizer and building the strength into it. So let's have a look at how the guys do it. Now, a couple of things you have to keep in mind with this is find the right position. So Ellie had to adjust her feet there, and the person who's with resisting has got to let the person pulling win. All right, so only just that, they've got to earn it. So you'll see Dylan will really make Ellie work for this one here. He's going to pull it a little bit harder, so then Ellie's really going to have to fight for it. And then he goes a little laugh, and then Ellie, see how she brings her other arm into it now, because it's sort of a natural rotation to it. Yeah, great exercise, great one. Often very underestimated exercise, this one, and yeah, build some massive strength and have some great fun with it. All right. But here's another progression of the BOSU. Now this time we'll be using, instead of a squat stance, we're using a lunge stance. So a much more difficult exercise, and definitely challenges the leg in many ways. All right, so the timing of the arm is almost the same, just that the lunge stance really complicates things. All right, so let's have a look how they go. All right, so it's down on and the arm is out, and you see Ellie who struggles, she's going to go. All right, and that's part of the exercise. All right, so there's always going to be those few things. So if she mucks it up, then Dylan has to stop too. So that's where you have to work together as a team. And you see now Dylan's nearly losing it, yeah, and now they're ready to go. And then in sync, it's like up, standing up, and then a pull. All right, and yeah, and the timing's everything on this. And making sure that you always have a really nice lunge right at the bottom there, so you can see Dylan's one's a good one just to see this. So he's got like that nice right angle, trying to keep his posture. Ellie's sort of got her eyes looking down, where it'd be better to look at Dylan, but she's sort of like really working on her leg, still recovering from a knee injury. But a great example of a little bit tougher exercise than the squat one, and brings in a few more challenges. Alright, so now the progression of the last one is when we really bring the balance to a new level, and the timing's got to be perfect on this, or else the two of them will pull each other off all the time. So now we're going to bring in single leg balance. Alright, so let's have a look. So it starts the same, it's a lunge, but then as they pull it, they've got to come up in single leg balance and then land back in a perfect lunge. There you go, and then perfectly time it. Oh, and Dylan's about to go. Oh, he recovers, and yeah, no, he's off. Alright, and then see Ellie's the good this time, so you can always see there's always going to be mistakes with balance. Alright, if there was no mistakes, there would be no balance challenge. Alright, so timing's everything. There you go. and that's a great way to enhance that. So you could do this off the floor, and it's still quite a good exercise. All right. Okay, here's the last of our partner exercises with the rubber tubing, and this one's uses a lunge stance again, but we're bringing into like a twisting action, so very much like a woodchop. This is a good one for tennis players or anyone that needs rotation stuff. A great way to sort of work through the abdominals a little bit harder. All right, so let's have a look how it's done. So you start in your lunge stance. You've got to be in perfect sync with each other again on this. All right, so you see they've got to set the outside leg forward. All right. And then they both got to be in timing, and they go down and then twist away from each other. This is a lot harder than it looks, this one, you'll see, because if the resistance, when it backs off, if you're not perfectly balanced, you're going to go just like Ellie did then. Alright, so they've got to be in time, so they're down together, up together, and pulling relative to each other, and they've got to really, you see Dylan nearly lost at that time. Yep. So it's a lot harder than it looks, this one. A great challenge to the stability of the system, and really trying to sort of react to the things that are happening all in a split second. Alright, so here's one of the most simple of and very most common partner exercises, and using medicine ball. Medicine balls are awesome for partner drills. You know, the timing of throwing it, and actually the catch is harder than the throw. You know, excellent, great for power training. So you know, elite athletes love using this piece of equipment for that reason. All right. So now, as much of this is known as an abdominal exercise, it's very much a leg exercise, and it's teaching you how to get your power to be driven from your legs. All right. So let's have a look at how these guys do it and break it down for you. All right. So there's a real weight shift. So Ali's got to like move from left, and then Dylan's moving to his right leg to transfer his weight over to the other side. All right. So there's a real twisting and leg drive action happening here. All right. And we'll break it down for you on the next one. Nice, there's a twist. Right, so here we go. So Dylan there, he's got like great strength through his right leg here. Right, this is the key to everything. This is where the energy is being created. It's all building up, and then as he moves, you'll see that he'll have to sort of gradually, like he rotates around. So that's where his spine. And then there's a big push off of that foot. So see how that foot lifts up off the floor there? So and the hip sort of rotates around there. This leg here has got to stay stable, but this back one is where all the power is being transferred out through his body, so the ball comes flying at Ellie. All right. So a big important part of this exercise, and these guys aren't doing it just to keep it easy for the video, but you really want to throw it as hard as you can. If you don't throw it hard enough, you're losing the timing of it. Right, so it's really relying on the explosive timing. Now with the catch, so as Ellie catches the ball, she's got to really absorb the landing into her left leg. See how she's moved all her weight over to the left leg? That's very important, because that's how you slow the ball down. That's the braking element to it. All right, so that's just as important as the acceleration. And you can see Dylan's got that perfect follow through there. All right, so that's what it should look like as you're doing it. So if your feet are stuck in the ground, you're not doing it right. All right, so excellent exercise, very simple, but don't underestimate the power of this one. All right, here's another one of our interesting partner videos. This one's more of a strength version. Now, there's a lot of people sort of get this one mixed up a bit, so hopefully I'll explain this really well for you. But basically the first thing you've got to do is you've got to line your legs up with each other. So Dylan's left leg's got to line up with Ellie's left leg here, right? So they're sort of like, so Ellie's sort of over this side and Dylan's over that side. All right, so that's the first thing. Now Dylan's going to line up with his arm like in a chest press position, so it's like at a right angle. Ellie's going to hold it with two hands on either side. Now this is where people sort of get it mucked up. What Dylan needs to do is sort of push that dumbbell into the middle. Right, so he's pushing it forward, but very much more to the midline. Ellie has got to resist it by trying to really, in this case, push backwards that way with her left hand. All right, so she's trying to resist him going that way. All right, and then so let's play this and let's watch it in real time. So as Dylan pushes it into the middle, yeah, and then now when he gets to there, he's going to be trying to take it back that way. So Ellie's trying to resist more with her right hand now. She's trying to push against him, so he's trying to go there. All right. So where she's going to be working is very much through the abdominal region, as is Dylan, but he's going to have a fair bit of arm work as well. So obviously he's only got one hand on it. All right, so let's watch it play again. All right, so she pushes it and he pulls it back, and then he pushes it back into the middle. You see Ellie's got to not get pushed off the ground. Yeah, Dylan's using a lot of effort there. It's like a real static exercise, this one. There's no let up on it, so you can't really do probably more than 3 or 4 on each side, and then you'd switch hands. All right, so quite a nifty exercise, this one. Bit of fun, get pretty competitive if you're working in pairs. All right, hope you enjoy that. See you on our next one. It's quite a fun one. You can make this one pretty explosively fast if you want to. Really challenge the person doing the push-ups. So one person's just going to be catching the ball standing up, and they're just sort of dictating the pace of the exercise really. And the other person obviously is going to be doing a kneeling push-up and throwing a ball. So let's watch Dylan do this. So basically he throws the ball, he's going to push up explosively and then catch the ball. And Ellie's like being very nice to him here by sort of throwing it back nice and easy, but if she was to start speeding that up, it would increase the speed that he has to push back up off the floor, which makes the push-up way harder. And then the timing of the catch, everything has to be just precise. So a great exercise if you want to do partner drills that are, it's something a little bit more unique. This one doesn't work if your push-ups are on the toes, obviously, because how you're going to get up. So you have to do it from the knees. So it allows you to get a few extra reps out. You can maybe build it up to like almost 20 reps in a row. You could do something in between it as well to fatigue it out. And the person in the squat stance has got to be like Ellie there in an athletic position. Yeah, a great exercise you can use in between things. Really mixes it up, make a workout quite fun. All right. Okay, this would have to be one of my most favourite videos of all time. This one, I love this exercise. Does so many things, but like at the end of it, your legs are going to explode. But balance, agility, coordination, and obviously strength at the end. But a great exercise that you can use for any sports that require change of direction. Anyone with sort of that sort of weakness in the legs, this one's an awesome one. Starts out very, very easy, and all of a sudden it gets really, really hard. Right, so let's have a look at the guys doing it. So we've got Ellie doing the easy version, and Dylan's obviously got a bit more advanced. And this is in slow time as well. So you'll see they've got to aim for the throw to be perfectly on the shoulder, and Dylan's got to like execute the leg part on an automatic reflex, because the catching and throwing the ball is the hardest thing here, believe it or not, for the brain. All right, so the muscles are on autopilot trying to coordinate it all. So in a second we'll show you where we're going to make it a little bit tougher. We're going to make Dylan do it a little bit more explosively. And you'll see, so he's had his practice go, so now we'll give him a shake out of the legs, and then we'll get him back on there. All right, so now Ellie's not going to be moving at all, and we're going to make Dylan sort of speed up on this. So you see he has to sort of really jump, and then Ellie can throw it back at him faster. So it has like a faster timing to it, all right? So a great exercise that builds in that braking ability of the quads, all right? So, and at the end of it, it's always great fun. So if you don't have a BOSU, just do it on the floor. If you have a BOSU, you can do 2 people on there. It makes it really tough. But yeah, the reactions, the unpredictable nature of the exercise, and coupled with the braking actions, makes it extremely valuable for the sportsman and for anyone who just wants to get a bit extra strength. Alright, here's another awesome partner exercise. This one's a bit tricky though, I must admit. It's a great one for sports, so it really helps with the explosive push-off as such, and it builds into the leg part of it, which is the main part, but it brings the arm action into it. Sort of very similar action to a bench press, I suppose, standing up. So let's watch Dylan do this, and then we'll go back and explain it. So basically he's got to really load up into a squat and then push out of it and push back against me. And you'll see that where I am, I'm in a stronger position because I've got several things in my favour that makes it easier. Firstly, my hands are in the middle, where Dylan's got an outer hand position, which makes him weaker. Secondly, me being in the split stance, I've got better leverage than he has. He's really getting squashed into it, and I'm pushing down onto him. So my whole body weight is going into his entire body, and he's really going to be absorbing it through ankles, and then obviously the quads are going to be loading up to explode out of it. And you'll see, as if I play this really slow, you'll see as he comes out of it, there's a big push forward, and he gets like that huge extension, and then I just rock backwards, and then as I land I'm going to sort of push him back down, and he's going to already be trying to resist me, see where he needs to lower his legs back. Yeah. Alright, so this is quite an advanced exercise, but one again you could have great fun with. Builds great strength into the legs for obvious reason for jumping. Alright, so hope you enjoy that one. See you on the next video.